Hello everybody. Hi. How are you guys? I hope that this video finds you in a good mood. I hope that you are having a spectacular day or evening or night, whichever one it is. Don't mind me, I gotta get a little bit of water real quick. So I got my new filming setup in, which you guys would have seen in the December fill-in, bullet journal fill-in. And I had put off like 3 to 4 different videos because I was waiting on this setup to get in, because I was so excited about getting in, because better view, better. But this is my annual journal, and I'm going to take you guys through a little bit of the setup, okay? So we've got the future log, which has quite a few things on it, as you can see already. Many of these are astronomy events because I like keeping track of that. We've got period tracker. January is set up a little bit, but everybody else is not, because some of the bills that we currently have are going to drop off. Tuck this here. And in the back, because I had some pages left over, I have got a gas bill and I've got a power bill tracker, because this journal is going to last me through 2026. Now, let me tell you guys a little bit about how I actually use this B6 and the spreads. So if you're like me and my husband, your paychecks are every other week. So how we've got it set up for us is the first check of the month, we pay a lot of our utilities, like the phone and the internet, the car insurance, power, gas, fuel, a couple of loans. And then the second check of the month is the one that we use to pay the rent or the mortgage, and then groceries, and then fuel is gas, transportation costs, and stuff like that. Now, the reason why we did it like this is because the mortgage and almost all of the utilities end up falling at the beginning of the month. So by taking the mortgage out of the second check, we're actually paying it a couple weeks early, and that eventually will end up meaning here in about, because we actually fall behind just a teeny tiny little bit, but the 3 weeks early, many times, usually the average is about 2 weeks early because we're using the second check, that ends up accumulating into us being a couple months ahead on our payments, which, for those of you who are curious as to why we would want that, if something happens and we're not able to pay the mortgage because God's of old knew him to be forbid, we end up having an incident where both vehicles are down, we got to get them fixed, we got to get them replaced, something. We're able to do that and it doesn't hurt us. And then the first check of the month pretty consistently falls before all of the bills. So let me show you guys how the setup is in this journal for a while. Because you would have your first check, you'd have your bills listed here, their amounts, the amount of your check, and right here, if you've got a variable, like your gas bill and your power bill, you'd write the amount that it actually was in this section here, and then what's left over out of your paycheck, I've got 30% into savings and 30% into maintenance account as a suggestion. If I'm able to put 30% of what's left over into savings and into the maintenance account these next couple of months, I'll be happy. I've been barely able to put like $3 or $4 into savings because, it's been one of these years. And then the second check, you've got it broken down the same way, the date, the amount, mortgage, fuel, all that. And on the right-hand page, we've got extra income that has come in from either a second job or somebody decided to make my day and bought every single one of my pineapple shawls that I make. Link should be down in the description. If it's not working, let me know and I'll try to get it fixed. The savings account with the amount that we added or pulled out, and we have a separate account for maintenance costs for here on the homestead with amount and, you know, added, negated. Now, the reason why we've got the account specifically for maintenance is because, well, this is an older mobile home that we live in, and we drive older vehicles, except for the new car, which is a 2018 Elantra, Hyundai Elantra. And after driving in a 1993 truck for so long, riding in that car is almost pure luxury. It's almost pure luxury. So with that in mind, this is like a very basic setup. This is what I have discovered in having an annual journal where I'm keeping track of all of the bills and the paychecks in. This is the format that I've been using and it's working. So if you guys want to take and pause the video and take a screenshot of that, be my guest. And then there's another way that you can set up your annual journal. Now, this is actually more the way my husband would probably do it. When I showed it to him, he was like, that's how I would do it. But say you've got, you know, your mortgage or your rent and you're in a long-term renting situation, like you know that it's not going to change in a year. You'd have your months, you have the amount right here, and then you would just go through, and when it's paid in like 2024 and 2025 for January or February or March, you do a little check mark for it. And you could leave the bottom part of the page blank if you're doing an A5 size, or do on like do the page opposite of it and keep track of when you're in a renting situation. Signed new contract, rent went up to this much, or signed new contract, landlord likes me, dropped it $200, $300. Things like a little thing for those of you who might be buying soon, you have to have home insurance. That will affect how much you pay every month. And for those of you who are aware of the fact that we live in the high Sonoran Desert, I have a drainage ditch that runs through my property. Because of it, it puts part of the adjacent property that the house is on in a floodplain. So we have to have flood insurance. You would record that of got flood insurance from such and such company. Policy number is XYZ456. Costs this much. Need to renew it on this date. You would keep track of things like that in here, which is what I do. I've got 2 pages. Let me see if I've got... Yeah, here we go. I can use the 2025 page. I've got this page right here at the start of the year where new things that get added, like our new car loan, new to us car loan, they would go here. And then in the back, last couple pages of the year, and the last 2 pages here is where I would list out details like we started paying this much a month, and as of this date at the end of the year, we've got this much left on the loan, should be paid off by such and such date. But that is how I use an annual journal, guys. And if you've been looking for ideas on how to use some of your notebooks, I hope this one was a good one, and that you're able to take this idea and use it to help give yourself a leg up in your life. Because I am a huge fan of keeping track of, you know, when paychecks are coming in, how much each bill is. I absolutely love having all of that information in one notebook. which is why it's in its own notebook and not a page in my everyday bullet journal. So, but this is how we do our annual here. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Hug your loved ones tight, take care of yourself, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.